Thank you all. Please take your seats.
A very good morning to all of you. It's a great day, a great occasion when we have His Excellency Dr. Paul, the Governor of Uttarakhand and visitor to UPS with us. We also have the Minister of Human Resources Development, Government of India, Shri Prakash Javadekar ji, and of course, our distinguished guest, Dr. Dhan Singh Rawat ji, Minister of State, Independent Charge, Government of Uttarakhand. We also expect the Chief Minister to be arriving sometime because of the State Assembly session going on, so he should be joining us in a while. Well, my dear students, it's a great day for you. It's an occasion to celebrate. It's an occasion for your parents to celebrate. It's an occasion for your faculty to celebrate. And it is an occasion for the entire UPS family to celebrate. You, during your stay here, have brought laurels, have brought glory to this university, and we thank you all for it. Not only you, but your parents who decided to encourage you to join us and build and help us to build your future. I am mighty pleased that you have gathered in such large numbers on this occasion, and I am very grateful to all the dignitaries, all our board members, the members of the HRS Society, the press, media, and the founder president of this university. I'll not fail to mention Mr. Sanjay Kaul and his wife being present here. Mr. Kaul, we are very grateful to you for being with us today. You have been the founder of this university, and our grateful thanks to you. With these few words, I will declare the convocation open.
I now request our President and CEO, Mr. Utpal Ghosh, to kindly present the UPS report.
His Excellency, the Governor of Uttarakhand, Dr. K.K. Paul, Honorable Minister for HR, Mr. Prakash Javadekar, Honorable Shri Dhan Singh Rawat, Higher Education Minister for Uttarakhand, Dr. Srihari, Vice Chancellor UPS, Dr. Chopra, Chancellor for UPS, ladies, gentlemen, and last but not the least, dear students who are graduating out today. I'll spend the next 10 minutes or so sharing with you the key features of the achievement that UPS has had over the last academic year. But I'll also start off by saying a few things about what's impacting higher education today, because the convocation is a good occasion to remind ourselves as to where we are going on the higher education front. If you were to look at participation of higher education in India, that's significantly moving up. At early 20% of GERs, or the gross enrollment ratios, i.e. people who are graduating out of schools, that number is going to move up to about late 30s in the next 10 years or so. And moving forward, if this current rate of growth continues, we will have close to about 45 million students by 2025, and this will be ahead of China, and China will take another 18 years to catch up because they have just opened up their second child policy. So India inevitably will have the opportunity to ensure that these students are taught appropriately going forward in the next couple of years. That's at one level. At another level, the choices of the new generation is significantly changing. And they're changing at several levels. One is they are looking at courses that are more exciting. They are looking at new areas that are opening up, and therefore it puts in a lot of responsibility to ensure that the need for higher education is in tune with the changing nature of industry. Let me just give you one example to make my point. By the next 30 years or so, or maybe 25, the nature of the IC engines for the automobile is going to just go away, and what will go inside a car will be all electronic components. Imagine somebody who's graduating out today as a traditional automotive design engineer would have to relearn the entire process of the automobile engineer during his career today. And that's something that we need to be conscious of. Similarly, if you were to look back, 12 jobs that exist today did not exist 10 years ago, and therefore 10 jobs that exist today will not exist in the next 10 years, and therefore the need for us to be dynamic in that area. And lastly, I'll share by saying that those of us who joined the workforce in the 1980s required maybe 2 skills in a work life of 35 years. Going forward, those of you who are graduating today will need close to about 8 skills in a work life of 35 to 40 years, of which the most exciting part, and some of you will say fearful part, is that 6 of those skills haven't even been discovered yet. So we don't even know what skills would be required. And therefore, the need for all of us to become lifelong learners. Moving on to give you some key updates within UPS. UPS has always thrived in being close to industry, and this year what we are doing is close to 100 of our 540 faculty are going to intern during the summer and the winter in industry on live projects. What it does, it brings back value into the classroom. This initiative was started in 2015 and is grown over the years. The other thing which we are very proud of is the QS stars rating that we got earlier last year, where we got 5 stars for employability, 5 stars for facilities, and 4 stars for teaching. And I congratulate all the students, faculty who were involved in this process. And the second achievement was where we got the IACB accreditation for 2 of our programs in the business school, one for oil and gas and one for logistics and supply chain. This is the US accreditation, and I think UPS is the only university anywhere in the world to have got accreditation for these 2 courses. Industry partnerships, which we are very proud of, in addition to the IBM partnership that we have got since 2011. This year we have tied up 3 key partnerships, one with Xebia, who are a leading IT firm from Holland for computer science, L&T, which is the next big one for civil engineering, and Philips Carbon Black for chemical engineering. And the way these models work is we co-design the curriculum, we co-deliver the curriculum, and we co-certify the curriculum along with the industry. Moving on, there have been a large number of international collaborations that I have listed out for this year, and they run across US, Canada, France, etc., etc. Student exchanges have been a strong part of our curriculum, and this is something that we need to move. But over last year, we have had 55 of UPS students who have been allocated seats in international exchange programs, and as we speak, we have about 41 international students who are in our campus during this summer. Placements is something which is very close to our hearts because graduates coming out of university need to find employment, and our track record there has been fantastic. This year we had a total of 307 national and multinational companies, many of them repeat companies who came over the years, and many first-time recruiters because of the new batches that are graduating this year, including the BTech LLB programs which are graduating in 2017. This has been the trend in terms of placements for those people who want to seek placements and are eligible, and that's something which we are very proud of. Student achievements, there have been a whole lot of achievements over the years, but some of them which we are very proud of is 2 of our students are going for the Mars adventure experiment, which is going to happen in Poland, where they're going to spend 15 days studying Martian conditions, and these would be shared with all the space agencies across the world, including NASA, European Space Agency, and ISRO. Moving on, one of our students, Amitabh, will be interning at CERN this year. He's one of our electronics students who's going to be there. A couple of more awards that have come along with the students, and I can say with a great amount of pride that UPS students are taking on the best institutions in the country to win many of these awards as we move on. The INSAT competition, or the CANSAT as we call it, was won by UPS against all odds, competing against many institutions including Princeton, University of California, etc. And there's a picture of some of our students who went to California for that event earlier last year. Even from the BBA students who are our Bachelor of Business students, they have won national awards in business planning competition, as well as our law students who have won national moot court competition in Gujarat. Research is something Dr. Paul always encourages us to do. Every time we meet up with him, he says, what's been your focus there? I'm very happy to share with you that we have got almost 80% increase in the number of Scopus Index publications. So these are top of the world publications across the world, and last year in 2016, we had 167 of them. And a whole lot of research grants, and I'm very grateful to the Government of India that when it comes to research grants, they do not differentiate between private institutions and public institutions, and we are free to apply for research grants. And last year we got 3.14 crores of research grants. So far this year we already have 1.44, and we'll get more during the rest of the year. Some of the projects that we are working in terms of our research include plastic to fuel, metal defects that will be self-healing, as well as reusing and reworking water cycling within the several systems, which is converting grey water to usage for community purposes. These are some of the projects, and there are many more that we are very proud of. Social responsibility is something that we share with the community a lot. Earlier, Mr. Javadekar was talking about the community and how communities benefit outside universities. So there are several projects that we run. Our project Abhilasha, so we pick up the brightest students from the districts of Uttarakhand and train them for engineering coaching. And I'm very happy to say, as we speak, the coaching is currently going on, and many of our students have cracked the NIITs and the IIIT exams so far, and I'm sure the day is not very far when some of these kids will even crack the IIT exams. Project Sankalp is a project where we have adopted 51 of the girls in the vicinity here, and we support them at all levels without uprooting them from their homes, and our students go out and support them in terms of IT skills, communication skills, etc. Project Samvedana is something which we do for all the laborers, workers who work in the different construction sites. So while their parents are away during the construction within the campus, they are taken care of both in terms of their studies as well as their meals during the day. Women empowerment, this is a project that we have got from DST, where we are using medicinal plants which will help domestic housewives in the Uttarakhand facility to start increasing their livelihood in addition to the farming work that they do. And last but not the least, we organized an empowerment workshop for the panchayats around this area with an NGO to ensure how can they write better business plans which will benefit the community and the villages that they serve. With that, I'll close out by saying congratulations to all the graduating students. As you leave the portals of UPS going forward, please remember the world has changed, and therefore you need to be lifelong learners in the next 35 to 40 years of your working lives. Thank you very much, and have a great graduation day.
Thank you, sir. Now we will begin the ceremony of the award of degrees. I now request the Vice Chancellor to award the degrees to the Doctorate of Philosophy in Management and Law.
Let the candidates for the award of degree of Doctorate of Philosophy in Management and Law be presented.
Sir, I present to you 9 candidates from management disciplines and 1 candidate from law discipline. Subir Bikas Mitra in the area of oil and gas management. B. Sabita in the area of marketing management.
रहने देना।
Chandrasekhar Azad in the area of power management. Rakesh Kumar Chauhan in the area of power management. Anand V. Kumar in the area of power management. Abhijit Singh in the area of port and shipping management. T. Nagesh in the area of information systems management. Ganesh Vishwakarma in the area of logistics and supply chain management. PLL Annapurna in the area of general management. And Ajit Kausal in the area of law. And 3 candidates in absentia and whose names are given in the list for the award of Doctorate of Philosophy have successfully completed the program and have been found qualified for the award of the doctorate degree to be awarded to them. Thank you.
Let the candidates of Doctorate of Philosophy in Management and Law be seated, please. Thank you, sir. I now request the Vice Chancellor to award the degrees of the Doctorate of Philosophy in Engineering.
Let the candidates for the award of degree of Doctorate of Philosophy in Engineering be presented.
Sir, I present to you 11 candidates. Rajesh Singh in the area of electronics engineering. Ramallah Isaac in the area of electrical engineering. Deepak Kumar and Shival Dubey in the area of mechanical engineering. Sasidharan in the area of petroleum engineering. Vindhya in the area of aerospace engineering. Rohit Sharma in the area of chemical engineering. Siddharth Lavania and Monit Kapoor in the area of computer science and engineering. Venkateshwaran in the area of nanotechnology. Bikrama Prasad Yadav in the area of health, safety and environmental engineering.
Let the candidates of Doctorate of Philosophy in Engineering be seated, please. Thank you, sir. I now request the Vice Chancellor to award the degrees of Doctorate of Philosophy in Science.
Let the candidates for the award of degree of Doctor of Philosophy in Science be presented.
Sir, I present to you 6 candidates, Ravi Kumar Diksena, Amit Kumar Sharma and Shiv Kumar Webina in the area of chemistry. Mansi Gupta in the area of environmental science, Unni Krishnan in the area of health, safety and environmental science, Durgansh in the area of computer science, and one candidate in absentia whose names are given in the list for the award of Doctorate of Philosophy of Science, who have successfully completed the program and have been found qualified for the award of doctorate degree to be awarded to them.
Let the candidates of Doctor of Philosophy in Science be seated, please. Thank you, sir. Sir, I now request the Vice Chancellor to award the degrees to the undergraduate students of BTech and BSc Petroleum, Chemical and Earth Sciences Group.
Let the candidates of Petroleum, Chemical and Earth Sciences Group for the award of degree of BTech and BSc be presented.
Will the candidates for BTech, Petroleum, Chemical and Earth Science please rise? Sir, I present to you 145 candidates of BTech Applied Petroleum Engineering, Upstream Specialization, Gas Stream Specialization, Chemical Engineering with specialization in refining and petrochemicals, Geoscience Engineering, Geoinformatics Engineering and Petroleum Operations, and 53 candidates in absentia whose names are given in the list who have successfully completed the program and have been found qualified for the award of BTech and BSc degree. I request that degree be awarded to them.
By virtue of the authority vested in me as Vice Chancellor of the University of Petroleum and Energy Studies, I award you the degree of BTech and BSc and charge you to be worthy of the qualification that you have earned.
Let the candidates of Petroleum, Chemical and Earth Sciences Group be seated, please. Thank you, sir. I now request the Vice Chancellor to award the degrees to the undergraduate students of Transportation, Electronics, Material Science, Civil Engineering, Mechatronics, Power System, Fire and Safety, Instrumentation and Control Engineering.
Let the candidates for the award of BTech degrees in Transportation, Electronics, Material Science, Civil Engineering, Mechatronics, Power System, Fire and Safety and Instrumentation and Control Engineering for the award of degree of BTech be presented.
Will the candidates for BTech Transportation, Electronics, Material Science, Civil Engineering, Mechatronics Engineering, Power System Engineering, Fire and Safety Engineering and Instrumentation and Control Engineering please rise? Sir, I present to you 370 number of candidates of BTech Aerospace Engineering with specialization in avionics, Mechanical Engineering, Automotive Design Engineering, Electronics Engineering, Civil Engineering with specialization in infrastructure development, Mechatronics Engineering, Material Science Engineering with specialization in nanotechnology, Power System Engineering and Fire and Safety Engineering, Instrumentation and Control Engineering, and 155 candidates in absentia whose names are given in the list who have successfully completed the program and have been found qualified for the award of BTech degree. I request that degree be awarded to them.
By virtue of the authority vested in me as Vice Chancellor of the University of Petroleum and Energy Studies, I award you the degree in BTech and charge you to be worthy of the qualification that you have earned.
Let the BTech Transportation, Electronics, Material Science, Civil Engineering, Mechatronics, Power System, Fire and Safety, Instrumentation and Control Engineering be seated, please. Thank you, sir. I now request the Vice Chancellor to award the degrees to the undergraduate students of Computer Science and Engineering.
Let the candidates for the Computer Science and Engineering group for the award of BTech be presented.
Will the candidates for BTech Computer Science and Engineering group please rise? Sir, I present to you 276 candidates of BTech Computer Science and Engineering, specialization in open source and open standards, mainframe technology, oil and gas informatics, cloud computing and virtualization technology, business analytics and optimization, telecom informatics, e-commerce, retail and automation, IT infrastructure, and 112 candidates in absentia whose names are given in the list who have successfully completed the program and have been found qualified for the award of BTech degree. I request that degree be awarded to them.
By virtue of the authority vested in me as Vice Chancellor of the University of Petroleum and Energy Studies, I award you the degree in BTech and charge you to be worthy of the qualification that you have earned.
Let the candidates of Computer Science and Engineering Group be seated, please. Thank you, sir. I now request the Vice Chancellor to award the degrees to BA LLB Honours, BBA LLB Honours and BTech LLB Honours.
Let the candidates for the award of degree of BTech LLB Honours, BA LLB Honours, BBA LLB Honours be presented.
Will the candidates for BTech LLB Cyber Law and IPR, BA LLB Honours Energy Laws, BBA LLB Honours Corporate Laws please rise? Sir, I present to you 168 candidates of BTech LLB Cyber Law and IPR, BA LLB Honours Energy Laws, BBA LLB Honours Corporate Laws, and 37 candidates in absentia whose names are given in the list, who have been successfully completed the program and have been found qualified for the award of the BTech LLB Cyber Law and IPR, BA LLB Honours Energy Laws, BBA LLB Honours Corporate Laws. I request that the degree be awarded to them.
By virtue of the authority vested in me as Vice Chancellor of the University of Petroleum and Energy Studies, I award you the degree in BTech LLB Honours, ET plus IPR or CSC plus Cyber Law, BA LLB Honours and BBA LLB Honours and charge you to be worthy of the qualification that you have earned.
Let the BTech LLB Honours, BA LLB Honours and BBA LLB Honours candidates be seated, please. Thank you, sir. I now request the Vice Chancellor to award the degrees to the undergraduate students of the College of Management and Economic Studies.
Let the candidates for the undergraduate program for the award of degree of BBA be presented.
Will the candidates for BBA please rise? Sir, I present to you 85 candidates of BBA Oil and Gas Marketing, Aviation Operations, Auto Marketing, Logistics Management, Foreign Trade, Retail Management and Financial Services and Marketing, and 110 candidates in the absentia whose names are given in the list who have successfully completed the program and have been found qualified for the award of BBA degree. I request that degree to be awarded to them.
By virtue of the authority vested in me as Vice Chancellor of the University of Petroleum and Energy Studies, I award you the degree in BBA and charge you to be worthy of the qualification that you have earned.
Let the BBA candidates be seated, please. Thank you, sir. We will now begin the ceremony for the award of medals. May I now request His Excellency Dr. Paul to kindly step forward, please, for the award of medals. Dr. Paul, please. Sir, I present to you Neha Mehra, who has been selected for the award of University Gold Medal as the best postgraduate student of the College of Engineering Studies. Sir, I present to you Ashwin G, who has been selected for the award of University Gold Medal as the best postgraduate student of the College of Management and Economic Studies. Sir, I present to you Mohit Agarwal, who has been selected for the award of University Gold Medal as the best postgraduate student of the College of Legal Studies. Sir, I present to you Prasansha Rastogi, who has been selected for the award of University Gold Medal as the best undergraduate student of the College of Engineering Studies. Sir, I present to you Shweta Singh, who has been selected for the award of University Gold Medal as the best undergraduate student of the College of Legal Studies. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for giving away the awards. Thank you so much. I now request our chief guest, Shri Prakash Javadekar ji, to kindly step forward, please. Sir, I present to you Ayush Rastogi, who has been selected for the award of University Silver Medal for obtaining first rank in MTech Energy Systems. Sir, I present to you Dipendu, who has been selected for the award of University Silver Medal for obtaining first rank in MTech Structural Engineering Specialization Offshore Structures. Sir, Sir, I present to you Robin V. George Fernandez, who has been selected for the award of University Silver Medal for obtaining first rank in MTech HSC with specialization in disaster management. Sir, I present to you Sanjay P. Sati, who has been selected for the award of University Silver Medal for obtaining first rank in MTech Petroleum Exploration. Sir, I present to you Ayush Gupta, who has been selected for the University Silver Medal for obtaining first rank in MTech Rotating Equipments. Sir, I present to you Gautam S.K., who has been selected for the award of University Silver Medal for obtaining first rank in MTech Renewable Energy Engineering. Sir, I present to you Rajat Shubhra Bhomik, who has been selected for the award of University Silver Medal for obtaining first rank in MTech Artificial Intelligence.
Come on guys, we can do better with the applause.
Sir, I present to you Sajal Sharma, who has been selected for the award of University Silver Medal for obtaining first rank in MTech Robotics Engineering. Sir, I present to you Abhilash K. Prabhu, who has been selected for the award of University Silver Medal for obtaining first rank in MTech Computational Fluid Dynamics. Sir, I present to you NC Ajay Vishwat, who has been selected for the award of University Silver Medal for obtaining first rank in MTech Aerospace Engineering Specialization in UAV. Sir, I present to you Diveshi Saxena, who has been selected for the award of University Silver Medal for obtaining first rank in MBA International Business. Sir, I present to you Abhinav Gupta, who has been selected for the award of University Silver Medal for obtaining first rank in MBA Energy Trading. Sir, I present to you Subedha Pandey, who has been selected for the award of University Silver Medal for obtaining first rank in MBA Logistics and Supply Chain Management. Sir, I present to you Gopapuli Uday Shankar, who has been selected for the award of University Silver Medal for obtaining first rank in MBA Infrastructure Management. Sir, I present to you Naina Chopra, who has been selected for the award of University Silver Medal for obtaining first rank in MA Economics, Specialization in Energy Economics. Sir, I present to you Puneet Gupta, who has been selected for the award of University Silver Medal for obtaining first rank in MBA Oil and Gas Management. Sir, I present to you Kanishka Basubatri, who has been selected for the award of University Silver Medal for obtaining first rank in MBA Aviation Management. So I present to you Somya Bhushan, who has been selected for the award of University Silver Medal for obtaining first rank in BBA LLB Honours Specialization in Corporate Laws. Sir, I present to you Bharka Khattar, who has been selected for the award of University Silver Medal for obtaining first rank at BTech Computer Science and Engineering LLB Honours Specialization Cyber Laws. Sir, I present to you Bridul Sondi, who has been selected for the award of University Silver Medal for obtaining first rank in BTech Energy Technology LLB Honours Specialization IPR. Sir, I present to you Shashak Pandey, who has been selected for the award of University Silver Medal for obtaining first rank at BTech Applied Petroleum Engineering with upstream specialization. Sir, I present to you Shivanshu Srivastava, who has been selected for the award of University Silver Medal for obtaining first rank at BTech Applied Petroleum Engineering with gas stream specialization. Sir, I present to you Ankshit Dixit, who has been selected for the award of University Silver Medal for obtaining first rank at BTech Power System Engineering. Sir, I present to you Ankita Sood, who has been selected for the award of University Silver Medal for obtaining first rank in BTech Computer Science and Engineering Specialization Business Analytics and Optimization. Sir, I present to you Rhythm Raj, who has been selected for the award of University Silver Medal for obtaining first rank in BTech Computer Science and Engineering in e-commerce and automation. Sir, I present to you Ayush Vardhan, who has been selected for the award of University Silver Medal for obtaining first rank in BTech Computer Science and Engineering, specialization mainframe technology. Sir, I present to you Shriya Arora, who has been selected for the award of University Silver Medal for obtaining first rank in BTech Computer Science and Engineering, specialization open source and open standards. Sir, I present to you Kanchan Sharma, who has been selected for the award of University Silver Medal for obtaining first rank in BTech Computer Science and Engineering, specialization IT infrastructure. Sir, I present to you Himani Bhatt, who has been selected for the award of University Silver Medal for obtaining first rank in BTech Computer Science and Engineering, specialization oil and gas informatics. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for giving away the awards. Next, Dr. Sherry. Sir, I present to you Avijit Shaw, who has been selected for the award of University Silver Medal for obtaining first rank in Computer Science and Engineering. Can I request Dr. Dhan Singh Rawat to kindly step forward, please? Sir, I present to you Tanpreet Bawa, who has been selected for the award of University Silver Medal for obtaining first rank in BTech Geoinformatics Engineering. Sir, I present to you Shubhankar Chaudhary, who has been selected for the award of University Silver Medal for obtaining first rank in BTech Geoscience Engineering.
Come on guys, let's hear it louder.
Sir, I present to you Vaibhav Agarwal, who has been selected for the award of University Silver Medal for obtaining first rank at BTech Mechanical Engineering. Sir, I present to you Shaurya Sood, who has been selected for the award of University Silver Medal obtaining first rank in BTech Automotive Design Engineering. Sir, I present to you Deepraj Sinha, who has been selected for the award of University Silver Medal for obtaining first rank in BTech Fire and Safety Engineering. Sir, I present to you Vayalada Kiran Kumar, who has been selected for the award of University Silver Medal for obtaining first rank in BTech Instrumentation and Control Engineering. Sir, I present to you Shadab, who has been selected for the award of University Silver Medal for obtaining first rank in BTech Aerospace Engineering, specialization in avionics. Sir, I present to you Divansh Sharma, who has been selected for the award of University Silver Medal for obtaining first rank in BTech Chemical Engineering, specialization in refining and petrochemicals. Sir, I present to you Parth Jiddal, who has been selected for the award of University Silver Medal for obtaining first rank in BTech Mechatronics Engineering. Sir, I present to you Ankur Tiwari, who has been selected for the award of University Silver Medal for obtaining first rank at BTech Civil Engineering. Sir, I present to you Varshas Mohan Chaudhary, who has been selected for the award of University Silver Medal for obtaining first rank in BTech Electronics Engineering. Sir, I present to you Simran Dua, who has been selected for the award of University Silver Medal for obtaining first rank at BBA Oil and Gas Marketing. Sir, I present to you Akshi Soni, who has been selected for the award of University Silver Medal for obtaining first rank in BBA Financial Services and Marketing. Sir, I present to you Hamsa Hashmi, who has been selected for the award of University Silver Medal for obtaining first rank in BBA Logistics Management. Sir, I present to you Siddharth Dugal, who has been selected for the award of University Silver Medal for obtaining first rank at BBA Auto Marketing. Sir, I present to you Akansha Thakur, who has been selected for the award of University Silver Medal for obtaining first rank at BBA Retail Management. Thank you, Dhan Singh Rawat ji. Thank you so much for giving away the awards. Thank you so much. Can I now request Mr. Utpal Ghosh to kindly step forward, please? Sir, I present to you Pradayunam Parash Hari, who has been the merit holder of the Center for Continuing Education and who has been selected for the award of Certificate in MBA Oil and Gas Management. Sir, I present to you Praveen Tiwari, who is the merit holder for Center for Continuing Education and has been selected for the award of certificate in MBA Oil and Gas Management. Thank you, Mr. Ghosh. Thank you, Mr. Ghosh. Now I request our founder president, Mr. Sanjay Kaul, to kindly step up. Sir, I present to you Nehra Mehra for the award of overall performance in MTech program. This gold medal has been sponsored by Mrs. Prabha Narang in the memory of our late father, Shri I.N. Mehta. This is the faculty award. Faculty award, please. Sir, I present to you Puneet Gupta for the award of Narayan Sahai Memorial Gold Medal. This gold medal has been instituted by Narayan Sahai Memorial Trust for outstanding MBA Oil and Gas Management student. He is the winner of 2 awards, silver and gold both. Sir, I present to you Shashank Pandey for the award of Sidhu Mallan Sons Gold Medal for the best corporate student. Another winner of 2 awards, please. With this, we close the awards ceremony, please.
I now request Dr. Dhan Singh Rawat, Minister of State Higher Education, Uttarakhand, to address the gathering.
मुख्यमंत्री जी आए। मंच पर आसीन माननीय श्री प्रकाश जावड़ेकर जी, जो माननीय मंत्री हैं, मानव संसाधन मंत्री भारत सरकार, महामहिम राज्यपाल उत्तराखंड, और श्रीमान उत्पल घोष जी, अध्यक्ष पेट्रोलियम विश्वविद्यालय, डॉक्टर चोपड़ा जी, कुलाधिपति पेट्रोलियम विश्वविद्यालय, डॉक्टर श्री हरि कुलपति पेट्रोलियम विश्वविद्यालय, और विश्वविद्यालय के प्रशासक मंडल, और मेरे बड़े भाई श्री अरुण ढाट जी। सबसे पहले मैं उन छोटे भाई बहनों को ढेर सारी बधाई देता हूं जो आज इस विश्वविद्यालय में अपनी अपनी डिग्री लेकर भारतवर्ष के निर्माण में अपना सहयोग देने वाले हैं। इससे पहले कि मैं आगे बढ़ूं, मैं विश्वविद्यालय प्रबंधन को अपने तहे दिल से बहुत हार्दिक बधाई देता हूं कि आज पेट्रोलियम विश्वविद्यालय हमारे उत्तराखंड का पहला ऐसा विश्वविद्यालय बन गया है जिसने कि मानव संसाधन मंत्रालय द्वारा एवं रक्षा मंत्रालय के निर्देश पर विद्या वीरता अभियान के अंतर्गत अपने प्रांगण में शौर्य दीवार का निर्माण किया है। इस दीवार के निवारण पर मैं अपने बीच पधारे अपने बड़े भाई और अपने मार्गदर्शक माननीय प्रकाश जावड़ेकर मानव संसाधन मंत्री जी का तहे दिल से आभारी हूँ। भारत सरकार द्वारा तथा मंच पर आसीन सभी महानुभावों के बीच इस दीवार का जो निर्माण किया गया वो एक ऐतिहासिक क्षण है। पेट्रोलियम विश्वविद्यालय न केवल उत्तराखंड के विद्यार्थियों के लिए बल्कि संपूर्ण भारतवर्ष के विद्यार्थियों के लिए एक पसंदीदा संस्थान बन गया है, जहां न केवल आधुनिक शिक्षा की गुणवत्ता पर ध्यान दिया जाता है, साथ साथ सर्वांगीण विकास पर भी बल दिया जाता है। इसका प्रत्यक्ष लाभ विद्यार्थियों को कैंपस में उत्कृष्ट कंपनियों में नौकरी मिल जाने के रूप में मिलता है। वर्ष दर वर्ष विश्वविद्यालय का जो प्लेसमेंट रेट है वो 90% रहता है। मेरे संज्ञान में लाया गया कि इस वर्ष भी कैंपस में 300 से लेकर 350 कंपनियां आई हैं और जो विद्यार्थियों को नौकरी यहीं पे दे के जाते हैं। पेट्रोलियम विश्वविद्यालय में पढ़ाए जाने वाले पाठ्यक्रम आधुनिक उपयोग जगत के आवश्यकताओं के अनुसार बनाए गए हैं। यही इसकी विशेषता है और इस वजह से कंपनियां यहाँ पर विद्यार्थियों को पसंद करते हैं। विश्वविद्यालय के अभियांत्रिक पाठ्यक्रमों में जुड़ी प्रयोगशालाएं आधुनिक हैं और इसमें कुछ शायद उत्तर भारत में और कहीं उपलब्ध नहीं हैं और कैंपस में ड्रिलिंग रिंग के द्वारा प्रशिक्षण देने वाला शायद यह संपूर्ण भारतवर्ष का एकमात्र विश्वविद्यालय है। मुझे यह बताने में भी हर्ष हो रहा है कि विश्वविद्यालय इस प्रदेश का एकमात्र विश्वविद्यालय है जो कि अपने उपयोग हेतु स्वयं ही सौर ऊर्जा का 100 किलोवाट बिजली पैदा करता है और स्वयं में इस्तेमाल करता है। उत्तराखंड प्रदेश के उच्च शिक्षा का संरक्षक होने के नाते मुझे यह बताने पर गर्व महसूस हो रहा है कि विश्वविद्यालय गुणवत्ता के में कभी कमी न करते हुए न कभी समझौता करता है। इस विश्वविद्यालय में न कोई मैनेजमेंट की सीट है न कोई डोनेशन की सीट है। यहाँ की प्रवेश प्रक्रिया केवल योग्यता आधारित है एवं पूर्ण रूप से पारदर्शी है। इसीलिए इस विश्वविद्यालय में ने 15 सालों में छोटी सी अवधि में देश भर में अपनी साख बनाई है। लेकिन मेरे पास फिर भी अक्सर लोग पेट्रोलियम विश्वविद्यालय में प्रवेश हेतु सिफारिश लेकर आया करते हैं। मैं उनको बताता भी हूँ कि यहाँ पर कुछ भी मेरिट के अनुसार ही होता है, पर बहुत मना करने पर भी जब लोग नहीं मानते हैं तो मैं अपने ढाड साहब जो कि यहाँ के निदेशक हैं उनको मजबूरन फ़ोन करके उनके पास भेज देता हूँ, जिससे कि वह विस्तार पूर्वक उनको समझाकर संतुष्ट कर सकते हैं और करते भी हैं। मैं विश्वविद्यालय प्रबंधन से आग्रह करता हूँ कि वह न केवल अपने अच्छे कार्य जारी रखें परंतु अपने मानव संसाधनों द्वारा प्रदेश के सरकारी उच्च शिक्षा संस्थानों को सशक्त करने में हमारी मदद भी करें। मैं प्रबंधन को इस अवसर पर आश्वस्त करता हूं कि आपके लिए हमारी सरकार के एवं हमारे दरवाजे हमेशा खुले हैं और मेरे द्वारा जिस भी सहयोग की अपेक्षा आप रखते हैं आप बगैर संकोच मुझ पर पहुंच सकते हैं। पुनः एक बार फिर शुभकामनाओं सहित उन सभी विद्यार्थियों को जिन्होंने आज अपनी डिग्री प्रदान की है और उन सभी लोगों जो कि यहाँ पे उपस्थित हैं। जय भारत, जय हिंद।
Thank you, sir.
I now request Shri Prakash Javadekar, Honorable Minister of HRD, Government of India, to address the gathering.
Very good morning, गवर्नर राज्यपाल के पॉल, मेरे सहयोगी यहाँ के मित्र और यहाँ के मंत्री उच्च शिक्षा के धन सिंह रावत, उत्पल घोष जी, चोपड़ा जी, श्री हरि जी, जो पेरेंट्स आए हैं मुझे ऊपर दिखते हैं, और स्टूडेंट्स, फैकल्टीज, प्रोफेसर्स, मीडिया, आज का दिन आपके लिए एक बहुत महत्वपूर्ण दिवस है क्योंकि कुछ लोगों के 15 साल, कुछ के 17 साल, कुछ छात्रों के 20 साल पढ़ाई में गए हैं। ये एक लंबी तपस्या होती है, ये एक फोकस और अनुशासन के बिना संभव नहीं होता। लोग शुरू करते उत्साह से लेकिन थक जाते राह में। आपने ये सिलसिला 20 साल, 17 साल, 15 साल जो लगातार काम किया, आप यहाँ तक पहुँच गए हो, आपको बहुत बहुत मुबारक, आपको बहुत बहुत बधाई। आखिर शिक्षा का उद्देश्य क्या? विषय का ज्ञान होना ये एक हिस्सा है, स्किल पैदा होना, कौशल मिलना रोजगार के लिए, ये दूसरा हिस्सा है। लेकिन सही में शिक्षा का उद्देश्य है कि एक अच्छे इंसान का पैदा होना, यही सबसे बड़ा उद्देश्य है शिक्षा का। डोमेन नॉलेज इज वन पार्ट ऑफ द स्टोरी. Skill is another set which we acquire during the course. But the real purpose of education to bring out a good human being out of this system. और इसलिए अच्छे इंसान बनो, अच्छे सफल व्यावसायिक या प्रोफेशनल बनो, लेकिन एथिकल बनो। एथिक के बिना कुछ भी नहीं। जिंदगी में मूल्यों के आधार पर ही आप जिनको ताली बजा रहे थे, मैं भी छात्र आंदोलन की उपज हूं तो मुझे पता है कब तालियां कैसे बजती है, क्यों बजती है, किस ताली का क्या अर्थ है। कौन लोकप्रिय प्राध्यापक अध्यापक होते हैं, कौन ध्यान रहते 20 साल के बाद, आज स्कूल का कौन सा टीचर आपको याद रहता है? पढ़ाते तो सब है, लेकिन जो आपसे ह्यूमन बिहेवियर करता है, मानवीय संवेदना से काम करता है, वही टीचर आपको याद रहता है और वही स्टूडेंट्स भी आपके हमेशा मित्र होते हैं। यही है सबक। इसलिए बी ए गुड ह्यूमन बीइंग। यहां आप फीस देकर पढ़े हो, लेकिन पूरे आपके 15-20 साल में कहीं ना कहीं तो ऐसे मुकाम होंगे जहां जो सरकारी स्कूलों में पढ़े, सरकारी कॉलेजों में पढ़े, या कि जहां सरकार का अनुदान यानी गरीब का वो अनुदान होता है, गरीब से अंशदान होता है आपके शिक्षा को। और जिसने पहली से आज तक केवल फीस भर के शिक्षा की है, उस पर भी एक समाज का बड़ा बोझ होता है, क्योंकि ये ज्ञान आपने पढ़ा है, तैयार नहीं किया है। ये भाषा हम बोल रहे हैं, हमने तैयार नहीं की है। वो ऋषि मुनियों ने और वैज्ञानिकों ने और ये सारे विषय तैयार किए, इसलिए हम पढ़ रहे हैं, तो उनका स्मरण है। ये हमारे पर सोशल ऑब्लिगेशन है। हमेशा गरीब की याद रखो, समाज की याद रखो, उसके लिए कुछ न कुछ करो। यही संदेश आज का होता है, दूसरा कुछ नहीं। पीएम ने कहा है, प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी की विजन है 2030 में भारत दुनिया की तीसरी ताकत होगी साइंस एंड टेक्नोलॉजी में। और मैं मेरे सामने यही न्यू इंडिया देख रहा हूं, जो ये पीएम की मंशा को साकार कर सकते हैं। ये आप ही रहे, यही न्यू इंडिया। अमेरिकन राष्ट्रपति रूजवेल्ट ने कहा था, देयर माइटी थिंग्स, हिम्मत बड़ी करो, लो एम इज क्राइम। बड़ा लक्ष्य रखो, उसके लिए कड़ी मेहनत करो, तब जाके आपके हाथ से भी कुछ ऐसा होगा कि पीढ़ियां याद करेगी। वही सफलता का निशान होता है। आज आप यहां से जाओगे, ये कितना बढ़िया कैंपस है। यू आर लकी इनफ टू हैव दिस गुड कैंपस। और दूसरी एक विशेषता है कि आप डाइवर्सिटी में, ये मैंने पूछा तो देश के सभी राज्यों के छात्र इस कैंपस में आते हैं, सीखते हैं। दैट इटसेल्फ इज ए ग्रेट लर्निंग इन डाइवर्सिटी। एक दूसरे की आदर करना सीखो। यही होता है डाइवर्सिटी में ट्रेनिंग, कि हम एक दूसरे को रिस्पेक्ट करते हैं, उसकी भावनाओं का रिस्पेक्ट करते हैं, उसके प्रैक्टिसेस को रिस्पेक्ट करते हैं, उसके कल्चर को रिस्पेक्ट करते हैं, एक दूसरे से सीखते हैं, एक दूसरे से सीखकर हम में बदलाव करते हैं। यही तो लर्निंग इन डाइवर्सिटी है। ये किताबों में नहीं होता, ये हॉस्टल में होता है, ये कैंपस में होता है, ये क्लासरूम में होता है। यही भी एक महत्वपूर्ण शिक्षा है। आज मैं पेरेंट्स जो भी आए हैं और बाकी भी पेरेंट्स, उनको भी मैं बहुत धन्यवाद करता हूं कि उन्होंने आप पर विश्वास रखा और आपको जो करना था वो करने को परमिट किया। इसके लिए उनको बधाई देना चाहता हूं। They trusted in you. They believed in your idea. They put faith in your efforts and aspirations. That's a great thing to have such parents. और therefore, क्योंकि जब आपने कहा होगा मैं पेट्रोलियम यूनिवर्सिटी में जाना चाहता हूं, तो शायद अनेक पेरेंट्स ने सुना भी नहीं होगा। ऐसी कोई यूनिवर्सिटी है देहरादून में, ये है, नहीं होता है। लेकिन दे बिलीव इन यू एंड देयरफॉर दे अलाउड यू। सो ग्रेट kudos टू देम। ये यूनिवर्सिटी ऑफ पेट्रोलियम एंड एनर्जी स्टडी, ये एक देश के महत्वपूर्ण विषय को छूने वाला पहला संस्थान है और इसलिए इस संस्थान को भी बहुत बधाई। आज पेट्रोलियम के 3 यूनिवर्सिटीज है, लेकिन आपकी पहली है। जो पहली राह चुनता है उसकी चुनौती भी भारी होती है, लेकिन उसकी सफलता भी बहुत अच्छी होती है। यह आपका काबिल मुकाम पर आप है। This institute presents academic excellence. I was just discussing how you bring good faculties here. And they told me various ways by which they are attracting good quality faculties. You are also having collaboration and good exchange program. And the final test of it is the placements. If you don't perform as an institution, your students won't get correct placement. But with 90+% per placement, you are already achieved number 1. That is the best course you have already achieved. See, markets are always cruel. They accept performance and best. They don't buy less quality. They go for quality. And therefore the product, that is the students, उनकी मेहनत है, उनकी लगन है, उनकी तपस्या है, उनका अध्ययन है, लेकिन आपका मार्गदर्शन है। आपने एक इंस्टीट्यूशन तैयार किया जिसके कारण वो प्लेस होने लायक बने, ये भी महत्वपूर्ण है। और टीचर्स जो यहाँ बैठे हैं, उनके लिए भी हम जोरदार तालियां देंगे, क्योंकि उन्होंने हमें शेप किया है। They have not only taught us subjects, they have shaped our personality. और कोर्सेज का मिक्स भी आपने बहुत अच्छा किया। लॉ के साथ इंजीनियरिंग है। बदलते हुए दुनिया के परिप्रेक्ष्य में जो संस्थान कोर्सेज करेगा, वही संस्थान आगे बढ़ेगा। That institute only will grow which have the flexible and very relevant courses and they design new courses. ये होना चाहिए। और इसलिए प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी जो कहते हैं कि साइंस एंड टेक्नोलॉजी में वी विल बी द 3rd पावर इन द वर्ल्ड, बिकॉज ही बिलीव्स दैट रिसर्च एंड इनोवेशन इज द ओनली वे टू गो अहेड। मैं हमेशा कहता हूं दुनिया में 4 तरह से देश समृद्ध बन सकता है। एक यूरोप का तरीका जो 17वें, 18वें, 19वें सदी में उन्होंने किया, कॉलोनीज बिठाई और कॉलोनीज की लूट की, लेकिन वो अच्छा भी नहीं है और अब संभव भी नहीं है। दूसरा है कि जो मिडिल ईस्ट में है, जहां खोदो वहां ऑयल है, तो वो नेचर्स बाउंटी है, यू कांट डिमांड इट। आपके पास जो है उसी में से आपको तैयार करना पड़ता है, तो वो भी रहा हमारे लिए नहीं है। तीसरा है जो पिछले 30-35 साल से चाइना और इंडिया ने किया, इन अ वे रिवर्स इंजीनियरिंग and essentially capturing the world markets on the basis of cost competitiveness, essentially on the back of lower wages. But उसकी भी एक लिमिटेशन है। सही समृद्धि का रास्ता इनोवेशन के द्वारा आती है, और इसीलिए शोध और अनुसंधान का कोई विकल्प नहीं है। यही जिंदगी है, यही देश को आगे ले जाएगा। आज यहां हम बैठे हैं, ये एलईडी लाइट, ये सारे आए, कितना एक बल्ब निकाला था जेम्स वैट ने, वहां से यहां तक की सफर कितनी लंबी है, कितना इनोवेशन है उसमें भरा हुआ। आज ये मीडिया के कैमरे मेरे सामने है, मीडिया की पूरी दुनिया कैसे बदल गई, ये इंटरनेट आया, हमारी जिंदगी कैसे बदल गई, मोबाइल आया हमारे हाथ में, दुनिया कर लो मुट्ठी में, वैसा वो एक्चुअली हो गया, मुट्ठी में आ गया। तो ये जो ताकत है वो इनोवेशन की ताकत है। मुझे लगता है, मुझे तो रोज नए शोध की जरूरत रोज मुझे दिखती है। जैसे अभी सारा फोकस हम पर है, फोकस छात्रों पर चाहिए था, थोड़ा लाइट घुमाकर उनको क्यों नहीं लगाया। नए तरीके से थिंकिंग करना। जैसे मैं देखता हूं, हम आते हैं किसी कार्यक्रम में तो सारे कैमरामैन हमारे फोटो निकालते रहते हैं, तो वो पीछे पीछे जाते हैं। मुझे लगा गाड़ी को रिवर्स होता है आईना, वैसा उनको भी आंखों पर एक आईना क्यों नहीं बिठाएंगे, ताकि उनको पीछे, नहीं तो गिरते हैं बेचारे। शोध के लिए कहीं बाहर नहीं जाना पड़ता है, अपने आसपास जरूरतें पड़ी होती है, हमें उसमें से ढूंढना है। ऑयल के, पेट्रोलॉजी के क्षेत्र में मैं तो जानता नहीं, लेकिन कितने शोध क्यों लगे और कितनी दुनिया बदल गई। अमेरिका की पूरी लड़ाई ऑयल के लिए चलती थी, एक तरह से आज भी दुनिया में चलता है, लेकिन एनर्जी का ही तो मुद्दा है। मैं पर्यावरण मंत्री था। पेरिस अकॉर्ड इज ऑल अबाउट एनर्जी, हाउ वी क्रिएट ग्रीन एनर्जी। अब हमने प्रधानमंत्री ने जब ऐलान किया कि 175 गीगावाट ऑफ रिन्यूएबल्स, पीपल थॉट इट्स क्रेजी, बट मैंने कहा ना, डेयर माइटी थिंग्स। कुछ अच्छा करने की जिगर से काम किया और आज सफल होने लगा। जहां 19 रुपीज सोलर पावर था, आज लास्ट बीड हो गया है 3 रुपए तक आ गया। यह चमत्कार नहीं हुआ, यह विज्ञान की सिद्धि है, क्योंकि कितना बदल गया तकनीक। तो शोध की जरूरत है। भारत सरकार भी इसी दिशा में पूरे उच्च शिक्षा का रिफॉर्म करने जा रही है, कर रही है। पहले तो हमने हायर एजुकेशन फाइनेंस एजेंसी तैयार किया है। बजट की हमेशा कमी रहती है, तो हमने वित्त मंत्री जी को कहा और वित्त मंत्री ने भी 2000 करोड़ रुपए बजट से देंगे। हम डेट इंस्ट्रूमेंट से 20,000 करोड़ रुपए जनरेट करेंगे और 20,000 करोड़ आने वाले 3 साल में इसेंशियली अच्छे संस्थानों का रिसर्च इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर अच्छा करने के लिए हम देने वाले हैं। 20,000 करोड़ रुपए लोगों को देंगे। यह हायर एजुकेशन का दिस स्केल ऑफ फाइनेंस हैज नेवर हैपेंड, $3 बिलियन। छात्र अच्छे, बहुत प्रतिभाशाली, इनोवेट कौन करता है? बेस्ट ऑफ द बेस्ट। वो 1000-2000 छात्र होते हैं, 5000 छात्र होते हैं देश में, वो सब विदेश में जाकर अनुसंधान करते हैं। क्यों? वहां बेस्ट रिसर्च फैसिलिटीज है, वहां बेस्ट गाइड्स है और वहां स्कॉलरशिप है। मुख्यमंत्री जी आए, बहुत जोर से तालियों से स्वागत करें त्रिवेंद्र सिंह जी। त्रिवेंद्र सिंह जी आए हैं, एक नई आशा और सौगात लेकर आए हैं, और उत्तराखंड का चेहरा और सूरत अच्छे के लिए बदलेगी, ये मैं जरूर बताऊंगा। So I was telling about why brain drain happens. Best of the best brains go out only because of high quality research apparatus, high quality faculties, high quality freedom, and more importantly, good scholarships. फेलोशिप्स। हम ये सब ये यहाँ ही देना चाहते हैं और इसलिए हायर एजुकेशन फाइनेंस एजेंसी से अच्छे लैब्स यहाँ बने, अच्छे टीचर बने, एक ग्लोबल रिसर्च इंटरैक्टिव नेटवर्क का हम इनिशिएटिव ले रहे हैं जिसमें बेस्ट ऑफ द बेस्ट ब्रेन्स यहाँ 5 साल करेंगे रिसर्च, लेकिन उसके बीच में 1 साल बेस्ट लैब और बेस्ट गाइड का भी मार्गदर्शन विदेश में जाकर ले सकते हैं, उसका भी खर्चा हम करेंगे और 1 लाख रुपए का पीएम स्कॉलरशिप भी मंथली देंगे। ये भी हम यहाँ करने वाले हैं टू रिटेन बेस्ट ऑफ द बेस्ट ब्रेन्स हियर। हमने नए और भी काम शुरू किया है। ज्ञान विदेश से 58 देशों से पिछले साल 600 फैकल्टी प्रोफेसर्स आए और यहां 3 सप्ताह रहकर एक एक कोर्स कंडक्ट किया। इट हैज प्रूव्ड वेरी यूजफुल। दिस ईयर वी आर कॉलिंग 800 प्रोफेसर्स फ्रॉम 60 कंट्रीज। दैट्स अ बिग एक्सचेंज, दैट्स अ बिग इनिशिएटिव। We have already started incubation centers. We have allowed students to start startups from their hostel rooms. And I'm happy to note that 600 such startups have started working. That's the real effort and that's the new initiative. We have already started Imprint. We ask research proposals in 10 domain areas about the research requirement of the country, and more than 1,500 proposals we received. We have finalized 300 and we are going to give, we have already started giving money for these proposals, 600 crore rupees to fund the research proposals from students, teachers, professionals. We have already started Uchchatar Avishkar Yojana, which is a meaningful industry academia interaction. Already 98 customized requests from industries have come and IIT faculties and students teams are working on it, and I am very sure this is the good beginning. We are also asking scientists from research institute to come and conduct course, at least one course in a year in any institute, because that is how level of research and innovation grows up. We also organize hackathon. Was for engineering student, I hope from your university also people may have participated. Yes, those who have participated in the hackathon, please. Yeah, so how this happened? It was never happened. We organized India Smart Hackathon for the first time in 2016 and to my 2017, and to my surprise, with one email, 42,000 students from 2,000 engineering colleges registered. We gave them problem statements, 300 problem statements where digital solutions were required. They were given by 30 ministries. That's also a change government culture. Paul must be knowing. राज्यपाल महोदय जानते होंगे कि अगर पहले कभी मंत्रालय को पूछते कि आपके लिए प्रॉब्लम स्टेटमेंट क्या है, तो वो कहते थे हमारे लिए कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है, प्रॉब्लम होगा तो जनता को होगा। लेकिन यहाँ अलग स्थिति बन गई, कल्चर बदल गया, तो इसमें 600 problem statements were given by respective ministries and we worked upon them. Students worked for 3 months and then finalists were 10,000 finalists, 1,600 teams were selected based on their achievement. And they on 1st and 2nd April, they worked non-stop 36 hours to come out with their code and essential product. और मुझे खुशी है कि more than 200 problem statements have received good digital solutions. We are now taking them forward to make it a final utility or product. So that's how we want to give real innovation and research. Last but not least, we are completely reforming our regulatory regime. More freedom to good institutes, mid-level freedom and mid-level institute, for mid-level institute 50-50 regulation and freedom, and lower-level institutes 80% regulation, 20% freedom, and for good institute 80% freedom and only 20% regulation. That will be the future. We are reforming the whole regulatory regime. And yesterday only we have started yet another new thing is Swayam, India's own MOOCs. When I saw first time Swayam, lessons, the first course which I saw was petrology, because I don't know anything about it. So I said, I want to see. Whether I can understand, then anybody can understand. And that is the crux. But Swayam is an open platform, free of cost, 2,000 courses. Now there are 358 courses. 2,000 courses will be there. There will be lecture by experts, material, tutorial, interaction, examination, certification. For in-student choice-based credit system, they will get credit. And for others, it will be learning anytime, anywhere, and anybody, and forever learning. That's the new initiative with which government is inculcating and supporting the effort to make our country a research and innovation hub. That's our vision. Thank you and all the best.
Thank you very much for your motivation and inspiring speech, sir. I now request Honorable Sri Trivendra Singh Rawat, Chief Minister of Uttarakhand, to address the gathering. Sri Trivendra Singh Rawat, please.
धन्यवाद माननीय मानव संसाधन विकास मंत्री जी, आपका बहुत ही ओजस्वी और बच्चों को यहाँ पर मार्गदर्शन मिला है और निश्चित रूप से जिधर हमारे देश के प्रधानमंत्री देश को ले जाना चाहते हैं, आज विद्यार्थियों को उसे एक प्रेरणा मिलेगी। मंच पर विराजमान हमारे उत्तराखंड के राज्यपाल माननीय श्री डॉक्टर के पॉल जी, अध्यक्ष पेट्रोलियम विश्वविद्यालय श्रीमान उत्पल घोष जी, डॉक्टर S.J. चोपड़ा, कुलाधिपति पेट्रोलियम विश्वविद्यालय, डॉक्टर श्री हरि होमवर्ड, कुलपति पेट्रोलियम विश्वविद्यालय, एवं मंत्रिमंडल में मेरे सहयोगी डॉक्टर धन सिंह रावत जी, श्री अरुण ढंड जी, सभी प्राचार्यगण, सभी छात्र छात्राएं और पत्रकार मित्रों, पेट्रोलियम यूनिवर्सिटी में आज 14 वर्ष के बाद 2003 में स्थापित हुई थी और पहली बार मुझे यहाँ पर आने का सौभाग्य मिला। पहले भी निमंत्रण मिले, लेकिन ये संयोग 14 साल बाद बन पाया और इसके लिए मैं कुलपति महोदय और अरुण जी को, दोनों को बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद देना चाहूँगा। माननीय मानव संसाधन विकास मंत्री आदरणीय प्रकाश जी आज यहाँ पर आए। मैं सबसे पहले उनका यहाँ पर उत्तराखंड की ओर से बहुत बहुत स्वागत और अभिनंदन भी करना चाहूँगा। सभी जिनका दीक्षांत हो रहा है, ऐसे सभी छात्र छात्राओं को भी मैं बहुत बधाई देना चाहूँगा और हमारे देश में 35 वर्ष से कम आयु के लगभग 65% छात्र छात्राएं हैं या हमारे युवा हैं। हम सब लोग जानते हैं कि हमारे देश में जो 18 से 23 वर्ष की आयु के 25.53 बच्चे ये उच्च शिक्षा के लिए दाखिला ले पाते हैं, यानी कि 26% से कम। और आप उन सौभाग्यशाली पीढ़ी में हैं कि जो आप लोग विश्वविद्यालय की शिक्षा ले रहे हैं। अमेरिका में ये 39% है, 39%। और इसलिए ये ग्रॉस इनरोलमेंट रेशियो ये हमको अभी और बढ़ाने की आवश्यकता है। ये मौका है आज, जबकि तमाम शिक्षण संस्थान और प्राइवेटाइजेशन हो रहा है, गवर्नमेंट के भी संस्थान हैं, तमाम अवसर हैं हमारी नई पीढ़ी के लिए कि वो इसका लाभ उठाएं और भारत के विकास में भागीदार बने। ये भारत के विकास की बात मैं इसलिए कहता हूँ कि मैंने एक पुस्तक पढ़ी, सदा सफल हनुमान। एक विजय अग्रवाल हैं कोई राजस्थान के, उन्होंने एक किताब लिखी है सदा सफल हनुमान। और उन्होंने हनुमान जी के जीवन का वर्णन किया है, उनके जन्म काल से और अंत काल तक का। और उन्होंने कहा कि दुनिया में केवल एक ही शख्स ऐसा है जिन्हें हनुमान के नाम से जाना जाता है, जिन्होंने कभी असफलता नहीं देखी, कभी जिस काम के लिए हनुमान निकले कभी असफल नहीं हुए। ये उन्होंने उस किताब में उल्लेख किया है। जब मुझे किताब किसी ने भेंट की, मैं हवाई जहाज़ में सफ़र कर रहा था, मैं थोड़ी देर के लिए जब वॉशरूम गया तो मेरे पड़ोसी ने उस किताब को तब तक उठा लिया जो मेरे पड़ोस में बैठे थे, और उन्होंने उसको पढ़ना शुरू किया। जब मैं वहाँ पहुँचा तो कहने लगे, सर आप तो बाद में भी पढ़ लेंगे, अगर आप कहो तो 1-1.5 घंटा हम लोग साथ में हैं, मैं इसको पढ़ लेता हूँ। बहुत उसकी प्रस्तावना ही बहुत ही अच्छी है, प्रभावशाली है। और उन्होंने लिखा कि हनुमान जी सफल क्यों हुए। तो हनुमान जी को जब भी कोई बाधा आती थी, कोई उनको रोकने का प्रयास करता था, तो हनुमान जी को एक बात याद आती थी कि राम काज कीजे बिना मोहे कहाँ विश्राम। बोलते थे, जो राक्षसी शक्तियाँ थी रोकती थी उनको, आ जाओ थोड़ी देर आराम कर लो, बहुत आप दौड़ के आ रहे हैं, पैदल आ रहे हैं, पहाड़ों में चढ़ रहे हैं। जब वो संजीवनी के लिए द्रोणागिरी पर पहुँचे, कालनेमी राक्षस मिल गया रूप बदल करके, हनुमान जी आप श्रीलंका से आए हैं, बहुत थक गए हैं, आप थोड़ा विश्राम कर लीजिए। क्योंकि लक्ष्मण जी को सुबह सूर्योदय से पहले संजीवनी मिलनी जरूरी थी। लक्ष्मण जी को सूर्योदय से पहले संजीवनी न मिले, इसके लिए वो छल रूप में वहाँ प्रकट हुआ था कालनेमी नाम का राक्षस। तो हनुमान जी थोड़ा सुस्ताए, फिर उनको याद आया, उन्होंने कहा कि राम काज कीजे बिना मोहे कहाँ विश्राम। और इसलिए मैंने कहा कि हमारे विद्यार्थी, हमारी नई जनरेशन, हम देश के विकास की बात सोचें, देश के लिए काम करने की सोचें, तो मैं समझता हूँ कि हमारे जीवन में ऐसी कोई बाधा नहीं आएगी जिसको हम दूर नहीं कर सकते हैं, उसको हम दूर कर सकते हैं। और आज आपके पास ऐसी सरकार भी मिली है जो डिटर्मिनेट है, किसी भी काम के लिए, किसी भी काम को तय करती है तो उसकी सीमा भी तय करती है कि कब तक हमने ये काम करना है, और उसके लिए प्रयास भी करती है, और वो प्रयास सफल भी हो रहे हैं। इसलिए हमारे प्रधानमंत्री जी कहते हैं कि भारत की ताकत ये 3D में है। 3D से उन्होंने कहा कि डिमांड, डेमोक्रेसी एंड डेमोग्राफी। जब हम डेमोग्राफी की बात करते हैं तो भारत दुनिया का सबसे युवा देश है। दुनिया की 30% युवा शक्ति भारत के पास है, और दुनिया के कई देश तो बूढ़े हो गए हैं, औसत आयु 100 साल पहुंच गई है। क्या काम करेंगे? आज जो हमारे पास आते हैं, भारत में आते हैं कि हमको कुछ टेक्नोक्रेट दीजिए, कुछ इंजीनियर दीजिए, हम उनको अपनी भाषा भी सिखाएंगे। हमारा इतना बड़ा दुनिया में उद्योग चल रहा है, कारोबार चल रहा है, हमारे पास युवा शक्ति नहीं है, काम करने वाली ताकत नहीं है। हम अच्छा वेतन देंगे, सब तरह की वो आज प्रयास करते हैं। आज हमारे पास जो एक हमारी युवा शक्ति है वो आज भारत के पास है, जो दुनिया की 30% है, और हम दुनिया को उसको दे सकते हैं। और इसलिए हमको इसका भी लाभ लेना चाहिए। आप सब पेट्रोलियम यूनिवर्सिटी के छात्र हैं और भारत आज भी 75 से 80% पेट्रोल हम बाहर से आयात कर रहे हैं। और अभी अभी 3-4 दिन पहले भारत सरकार ने फैसला लिया है कि 16 तारीख से जो पेट्रोल डीजल के दाम होंगे वो प्रतिदिन के हिसाब से तय होंगे। कारण क्या है कि अंतर्राष्ट्रीय मार्केट में बड़ी उथल पुथल है और वो आज भारत सरकार ने निर्णय लिया है। और इसलिए हमारी जो सोच है, आज प्रधानमंत्री जी ने कहा कि हम वैकल्पिक स्रोत हमको ऊर्जा के ढूंढने होंगे। सोलर एनर्जी 1 लाख मेगावाट और 2022 तक का उसका टारगेट रखा है। विंड एनर्जी 40,000 मेगावाट, न्यूक्लियर एनर्जी 2,000 मेगावाट, इसी तरह बायो पावर 10,000 मेगावाट, हाइड्रो पावर 5,000 मेगावाट। आज इन वैकल्पिक ऊर्जा स्रोतों से 1,75,000 मेगावाट का लक्ष्य रखा गया है 2022 तक। और इसका मतलब ये सारी फील्ड आपकी है, ये ऊर्जा की फील्ड है, सारी फील्ड आपकी है और आपको इस ओर ध्यान देना है। कल मेरे पास एक नौजवान लड़का दिल्ली में मिलने आया था और उसने बताया कि हम वेस्ट से एनर्जी पैदा करते हैं और 100 टन पर 1 मेगावाट है, एक शायद है 1 मेगावाट, 100 टन पर 1 मेगावाट बिजली पैदा हो सकती है, ऐसा उसने बताया। और हम जो नई जनरेशन है, हमको इसमें और आगे सोचना चाहिए। मैं सोचता हूँ कि हम अगर और आगे सोचते हैं तो हम और भी कुछ इसमें कर सकते हैं। मैं एक टेक्नोलॉजी के बारे में पढ़ रहा था, अभी भारत में तो अभी नहीं है, मिस्ट टेक्नोलॉजी, मॉलिक्यूलर इम्पैक्ट स्टीम टेक्नोलॉजी। 170 लीटर पानी में 1 मेगावाट बिजली पैदा हो सकती है। वाटर मॉलिक्यूल्स को सुपरसोनिक, उसको ब्रेक करके सुपरसोनिक स्पीड पर उसको चलाते हैं। टरबाइन बहुत छोटे से हाथ में पकड़ सकते हैं आप, और उसका जो टेम्परेचर है -72 डिग्री सेल्सियस है। बहुत छोटी टरबाइन है और एक 12 बाई 25 फुट के रूम में 12 बाई 25 मीटर के रूम में आप 25 मेगावाट बिजली जनरेट कर सकते हैं और कोई शोर नहीं है, किसी तरह का पॉल्यूशन नहीं है, 100% ग्रीन एनर्जी है और कोई कन्वेंशनल किसी एनर्जी का उसके लिए इस्तेमाल नहीं होता। आप स्विच ऑन करिए, स्विच ऑफ करिए, ऐसे आप बिजली पैदा कर सकते हैं। विदिन 5 मिनट आप स्विच ऑन करने के बाद बिजली जनरेट होना शुरू हो जाती है। आज वहाँ तक पहुँच गए हैं। तो मैंने उसके बारे में पता किया, पता चला डॉक्टर चौहान है जिनकी रिसर्च है, नीदरलैंड में उन्होंने उसकी रिसर्च की। पता चला वो तो उन्होंने ऋग्वेद से उन्होंने उस पर रिसर्च किया, ऋग्वेद में किसी सूत्र में, और उससे उन्होंने अपना शोध कार्य प्रारंभ किया। मैं झारखंड राज्य का प्रभारी था अभी तक भाजपा का, अभी हूँ ऐसे ऑन रिकॉर्ड अभी दूसरा कोई नियुक्त नहीं हुआ है, लेकिन मुख्यमंत्री होने के नाते अब जाना नहीं हो पाता। तो मैंने उनको संपर्क किया और मैंने उनको झारखंड बुलाया। मैंने कहा आप आइए, और वहाँ के जो एनर्जी सेक्टर उनके साथ मैंने उनको बिठाया। तो हमने विवेकानंद जी के बारे में सुना था कि उनको जब बोलने को बोला गया सुनने पर तो वो 4 घंटे तक बोलते चले गए, लोग पिन ड्रॉप सुनते रहे। जब वहाँ पर हमने उनको झारखंड में बुलाया, आप आश्चर्य करेंगे, 4 घंटे तक लोग उनको सुनते रहे, वो बोलते रहे। और कहाँ से उन्होंने इसकी शुरुआत की, सारा उन्होंने उसमें जिक्र किया। मैं बात इसलिए आप सबके सामने कह रहा हूँ कि हमको अपनी जड़ों पर विचार करना चाहिए। मुझे अभी कोट पहना रहे थे, यही क्या बोलते हैं इसको, जो आप लोगों ने गाउन पहना है। मैंने कहा अरे कब तक ये फिरंगियों के कपड़े पहनते रहेंगे हम, छोड़ा इसको, फेंक दो इस चोले को। क्या हमारे विद्यार्थी, मैं आपको एक काम सौंप रहा हूं आज पेट्रोलियम यूनिवर्सिटी को, क्या हम कोई अपना भारतीय परिधान नहीं बना सकते कि हम अपने देश में उसको लागू करेंगे? और यहां से क्यों नहीं शुरू हो सकता? क्यों नहीं कर सकते हम लोग? बच्चे करें इस काम को। भाई रुपीज का रॉ निकाला, आर का रुपए अंग्रेजी में लिखते थे, रौ निकाला, कितना अच्छा है। यहीं से शुरुआत करते हम। क्यों नहीं कर सकते कि हमारे बच्चों के पास इस चीज़ की कमी है क्या, प्रतिभा की कमी है क्या? हम सोच सकते हैं। मैं तो कह रहा हूं, मैं आज पेट्रोलियम यूनिवर्सिटी को एक काम सौंप रहा हूं कि आप देश के लिए इसकी शुरुआत करिए कि हम भारतीय परिधान पहनेंगे। आप दीजिए और सबसे पहले उत्तराखंड में लागू करेंगे। लेकिन अपनों के प्रति, अपने पुरखों के प्रति जो हमारी शिक्षा का सबसे बड़ा दुर्भाग्य है, दुर्गुण है, वो हम अपने पूर्वजों के प्रति, अपने पुरखों के प्रति, अपने साहित्य के प्रति, अपनी संस्कृति के प्रति जो स्वाभिमान का भाव होना चाहिए वो भी जागृत होना चाहिए। शिक्षा इसको जागृत करने में, हमारी शिक्षा इसमें असफल रही है। इसको जागृत करने की जरूरत है। मुझे स्पेशल बात करनी है आपसे, ये इसको जागृत करने की जरूरत है। और मैं समझूंगा कि मैं यहाँ पर आया तो ये मेरी सफलता होगी कि आप मुझे इसके रूप में कोई विकल्प देंगे और मैं सोचूंगा कि हमारे बच्चे कुछ हटकर सोचते हैं। इतनी बात कहकर मैं अपनी बात समाप्त करूंगा। बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद।
थैंक यू वेरी मच सर। आपका आदेश सर आंखों पर, और आपको प्रॉमिस करते हैं कि अगला कॉन्वोकेशन जो होगा आपके नियमों के आधार पर होगा। I now request His Excellency Dr. K.K. Paul, Governor of Uttarakhand, to address the gathering.
Honorable Union Minister Shri Prakash Javadekar ji, Honorable Chief Minister Shri Trivendra Singh Rawat ji, Honorable Higher Education Minister Uttarakhand Dr. Dhan Singh Rawat, Shri Utpal Ghosh, Chancellor Shri Chopra, Vice Chancellor, members of the governing body of the university, members of the faculty, students, guests, and friends from the media, a very good morning to all of you. I really deem it an honor to preside over the annual convocation of this prestigious university. It is a historic convocation with the presence of Union HRD Minister as the chief guest. We extend a very hearty welcome on behalf of the state to Shri Javadekar. It is indeed very heartening to note that in the entire state of Uttarakhand, except for the IIT, this university alone figures in the top 100 universities of the country. Convocation is one of the most important occasions and a landmark event in the life of a student. So also for the university, as it showcases before the entire world the talent and its accomplishments. It is indeed a proud moment for the graduating students, their parents and the teachers. My heartiest congratulations to all of them, and I wish all of them a very bright future. On this important occasion, I also congratulate the Chancellor of the University, the Vice Chancellor, the entire teaching fraternity, as also the supporting staff of the University. I am happy to see that this university has been doing during the last 14 years providing not only quality education in the field of engineering, management and law, but has also made Uttarakhand an enviable name as the provider of quality higher education. Quality education is the base on which India has to build her destiny. At the same time, we have to educate our people in our value system, which will enable our youth to have their feet firmly on ground, even while thinking of the most modern technologies and systems. To fight against social backwardness in its many forms, universities are expected to play a especially important role. They must encourage their students to think anew and to be instruments of change. Ever since its creation, Uttarakhand has always had an aspiration for providing better education and training facilities, which in turn can push the local economy to a higher growth trajectory. Our young population is our strength, and value creation for them is a must. I am sure that universities like UPES can further think in terms of providing vocational training to these young people of the state for improving their technical and employability skills. Indian economy is fast changing from being commodity-centric to knowledge-centric, which requires a young workforce with marketable and relevant skills. Productivity and skills of the workforce will help to harness the demographic dividend in the next decade. Often, despite our increasing enrollment ratio in higher education, present-day education system has been blamed for churning out graduates who lack employable skills. Higher education system in India is vast and diversified. To harness the opportunities of demographic dividend, it is necessary that young workforce acquires quality higher education. In this context, to make the learning environment both more useful and challenging, by encouraging students to acquire the relevant skills, the faculty and the university have to focus on critical thinking skills, communication and creativity related skills, conceptualization and problem solving skills. The case study method of teaching can be adopted to develop problem solving and critical thinking skills. Adopting a project-based approach to enable practical application of concepts learnt in the classroom. Integrating industry internship into the curricula. Focusing on co-curricular activities to develop leadership and team building skills. And in order to become more relevant as per the need of the times, to improve the curriculum and pedagogy, the following measures can be considered. Since the knowledge is progressing very fast, curriculum could be thought to be reviewed and updated at least every 4 years. The curriculum should be objective and employment oriented that instills creative thinking. The curriculum should be drafted in such a manner that the graduate, postgraduate students who are studying the course get equipped with the requisite knowledge and expected skills. In examination reforms, the mode of examination should gradually shift from the terminal, annual and semester examination to regular and continuous assessment of students' performance. For this, the faculty has to be more involved and dedicated. Education should be student-centric, in which the faculty acts as a facilitator. Instead of learning by rote and mugging, emphasis should be on more experiential learning through activities and interactive sessions. Considering that this university specializes in petroleum and energy studies, it can make important contributions to the national development by encouraging research in certain specific areas. I am not sure as to the amount being spent here on research, but let me tell you that great ideas require great thinking, not necessarily great resources. For example, in 2010, the Nobel Prize for Physics was shared by a young postdoctoral research student in his mid-30s who did some of the most ingenious experiments with cheap scotch tape and cheap graphite to isolate individual graphene planes. Graphene comprises 1 atom thick planar sheets of carbon atoms, and it is considered a game-changing material with vast potential in nanosphere. So we must realize that it is the power of the ideas rather than power of instruments that ultimately wins. Sir C.V. Raman, our own Nobel laureate, got the thoughts about Raman effect while on a sea journey back home from England without any sophisticated instruments. I must, however, add that radical innovations, which are long-term drivers of growth, must not come at the cost of our environment. With rapid industrialization and the consequent mechanization of different sectors, keeping carbon emissions in check has become imperative. In our quest for technical supremacy, we must always remember that a country's progress in the true sense hinges upon striking a balance between fulfillment of economic needs and protection of the natural environment. The rising concerns about economic needs and protection of the natural environment, along with the rising concerns about global climate change, must all spur us on to find novel technological solutions to achieve this objective. Our country has some of the largest reserves of coal in the world, but we are unable to harness. The problem is of sequestering carbon dioxide. In order to overcome the shortage of petroleum, Germany during the war had developed the technology to convert coal into petrol. A South African company is currently making use of this very technology. While going in for non-conventional sources of energy, we need to carry out research so as to simplify this process of conversion through use of catalysts and make it cheaper, so that our coal can be fully utilized as in a non-polluting manner. Another area of research can be development of storage batteries for electrical auto engines or hybrid engines. As of now, China has cornered most of the lithium resources. As such, we need to find alternatives or improvisations. The difference between a college and a university is that the latter creates knowledge through research. So UPES, being suitably equipped, has to contribute to the national growth by developing appropriate technologies. Though the university in certain other areas of research has been able to get 13 patents registered, which is highly commendable. The university's interface with the industry is also appreciated, as besides solving the technical problem of the industry, it also helps in placements of students. I think this would also be the right forum to acknowledge the excellent work by the university on the CSR front. It has been giving regular financial assistance and support to 5 state government-run primary schools in its vicinity for the past 14 years. Free annual residential coaching to underprivileged but bright students from the hinterland of Uttarakhand under Project Abhilasha for the last 12 years has also been given. Selected students are prepared to compete in engineering entrance exams for good engineering colleges, including NIITs. Friends, India is fast becoming a land of opportunities. We are the largest democracy in the world. Ours is the 3rd largest economy on purchasing power parity basis, with per capita income having almost tripled over the past decade. When much of the world is struggling to avoid recession, we are growing handsomely on a sustainable basis. At the same time, we are also blessed with a youthful demography, with a third of the population under 15 years of age and more than half under 24 years. Every third Indian living today is between 15 and 32 years. With such demography, it is natural that the popular aspirations would be set higher. I urge upon you to assume responsibility as proud citizens of this vibrant democracy. The university authorities in this context have to provide guidance and advice and mentor the youngsters for startups and Make in India projects. I would suggest that a special budding entrepreneurs cell may be created at the university for channelizing the talent of youngsters and their creative ideas into working units. My young graduates, today you are on the threshold of a new era where you have to assume responsibility. But remember, whichever field you choose, ethics and integrity in work and relationships are most important qualities of character and will always stand by you solidly throughout your life and will never let you down. On your shoulders is the future of the country, and I have no doubt that with your sincerity and zeal for hard work, you will not only have a bright future, but also contribute to national development and bring glory to yourself as well as the university. I also hope that the wall of valor unveiled earlier this morning will be a great source of inspiration to all the youngsters. In the end, once again, my congratulations and best wishes. I thank the university for inviting me for this convocation. Wishing you all the very best. Thank you and Jai Hind.
Thank you, sir, for your very inspiring words. I now request our Chancellor, Dr. Chopra, to kindly present a memento on behalf of UPS to His Excellency Dr. Paul, please. I now request our President, Mr. Utpal Ghosh, to kindly present a memento on behalf of UPS to our Chief Guest, Mr. Prakash Javadekar ji. I now request Mr. Randeep Sisodia to kindly come on the stage. He will present the memento on behalf of UPS to the Chief Minister, Trivendra Singh Rawat ji. I now request Mr. Yudhishthir Bahl to kindly step forward, please, and kindly present the memento on behalf of UPS to Dr. Dhan Singh Rawat ji. I now request our Registrar, Mr. Abhay Sharma, to kindly propose the vote of thanks.
His Excellency Dr. K.K. Paul, Governor of Uttarakhand and Visitor UPES, Chief Guest Shri Prakash Javadekar ji, Honorable Union Minister of Ministry of Human Resource Development, Government of India, Guest of Honor, Honorable Shri Trivendra Singh Rawat ji, Chief Minister of Uttarakhand, distinguished guest Dr. Dhan Singh Rawat ji, Minister of State, Higher Education Uttarakhand, Chancellor Dr. S.J. Chopra, President Mr. Utpal Ghosh, Vice Chancellor Dr. Shri Hari, distinguished member of Board of Governors, Board of Management, Academic Council and Advisory Council, guests, press and media person, faculty members, parents and graduating students. As we conclude the 15th convocation, it is my pleasure to propose a vote of thanks to all who have made this event a grand success. This event is very special for the students who have successfully completed their degree program. Today, the students' hard work, dedication and sacrifice with the support of their parents are finally recognized and rewarded at this ceremony. Let me start by expressing our deep and profound gratitude to His Excellency Dr. K.K. Paul, Governor of Uttarakhand, for his kind presence and blessing to the graduating students. Chief Guest Shri Prakash Javadekar ji, Honorable Union Minister of Ministry of Human Resource Development, Government of India, for his acceptance and taking time from his busy schedule to grace the occasion and motivating the students. I also take this opportunity to extend sincere thanks to Guest of Honor, Honorable Shri Trivendra Singh Rawat ji, Chief Minister of Uttarakhand, and distinguished guest Dr. Dhan Singh Rawat ji, Minister of State, Higher Education Uttarakhand, for their presence today. We are grateful to the State Government of Uttarakhand for their continued support. Congratulations to all the graduating students, PhD awardees, medal winner on your outstanding achievement. Wishing you all the very best for the wonderful and bright future. On behalf of UPS, I express my sincere thanks to the sponsoring body and the member of Board of Governors, Board of Management, Academic Council, Advisory Council, Press and Media for their continued support. On this occasion, I also like to extend my gratitude to our industry academic partners, in particular IBM, ZBA IT Architects India, Philips Carbons Black Limited, Aditya Birla Group, the Cisco Networking Academy, L&T, Mahindra & Mahindra and KPIT for their continued support in our academic endeavor. We also thank the industry associate for their continued support in providing faculty internship and placement to our students. We are also very grateful to our service provider, including bankers, for providing continued support. Lastly, I take this opportunity to thank the entire UPS family for their wholehearted support in making this 15th convocation a huge success. Once again, heartiest congratulations to all the graduating students. Jai Hind.
Thank you, Abhay. May I now request all of you to kindly stand up for the national anthem.
पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड़ उच्चकल गंगा विंध हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलधि तरंगा तब शुभ नाम जागे तब शुभ आशीष मागे जाहि तब जय गाता जगन मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे.
Thank you. Kindly be seated. May I request the dignitaries on the dais that before they leave the dais, could they please step forward for a group photograph? And may I request from the audience Mr. Sanjay Kaul, Mr. Randeep Sasodia and Mr. Sanjeev Jutsi to kindly join us on the dais, please. Thank you, sirs. Kindly remain seated. Kindly remain seated. Kindly remain seated. Kindly remain seated. Okay, there are two quick announcements. One is for the students. Gowns are to be returned in the same room from where you had collected them. And the second is again for students and parents. High tea for both students and parents and our own faculty colleagues has been arranged in the hostel, boys hostel. Yeah. I believe we have a student called Kanchan Sharma who could not make it to the convocation on time, and she is a medal winner. Is she here? Can we have her on the stage? And can I request Mr. Sanjeev Jutsi to step up? Because I believe she has travelled a long distance to be here. And Monica Jain too. Monica Jain and Sanjeev, may I request both of you to felicitate the student. A big round, please. Thank you. God bless.